Indian government offered to help. Astonishingly, however, the Pakistan government refused to allow India to fly aid in. Instead, they insisted it was brought in by road, adding further to the delay. Even as the death toll mounted, the government seemed reluctant to accept help. But this didn't stop the international community gearing up, and soon aid was arriving from elsewhere, including the USA, the Soviet Union, Canada, France, and West Germany. On November the 24th, a British Naval Task Force arrived from Singapore, deploying helicopters and landing craft in the hunt for survivors. By now it was apparent that the scale of death and destruction caused by the cyclone was enormous. But when the final death toll was made known, it was truly staggering. Although the true figure will probably never be known, estimates put it at around 500,000 people, making it the worst natural disaster of modern times and one of the deadliest the world has ever known. The apparently slow reaction of the government to the tragedy would prove the final tipping point in steadily worsening relations between East and West Pakistan. Just a few months later, in March 1971, East Pakistan broke away and declared independence from West Pakistan as the People's Republic of Bangladesh.
Yeah,
this led to a bloody civil war, resulting in the displacement of more than 10 million people. In February 1974, West Pakistan grudgingly recognized Bangladesh's existence as a separate and independent state. This is believed to be one of the first times that a great natural disaster has sparked military and political. 4 years later, another cyclone would result not in a war, but in the destruction of an entire city.
Did he bite it?
December the 25th, 1974, Darwin, Australia. Shortly before dawn, Christmas Day, a massive tropical storm barreled ashore over Australia's most northern city. There had been plenty of warnings that it was on its way, but no one was fully prepared for the ferocity of what was about to hit them. But for the 49,000 people living in Darwin, it would be a Christmas none of them would forget. The cyclone first began to take shape 5 days earlier in the western Arafura Sea, about 600 miles northeast of Darwin, the capital city of Australia's Northern Territory. It was picked up by a US weather satellite and tracked by the Darwin Weather Bureau. As people began to sit up and take notice, the storm system, still very much in its infancy, started drifting slowly south-southwest into the eastern Timor Sea. It grew so rapidly that on the night of December the 21st, it was upgraded to a tropical storm and given the name Tracy. But as yet, it was still too far off the coast to pose any real threat. However, the next day, there was a sinister development as Tracy curled around and started heading southeast. At this stage, Tracy was not expected to make landfall anywhere near Darwin. It was a grave error. By late afternoon on Christmas Eve, instead of remaining a distant threat, Cyclone Tracy was just 50 miles away and heading straight for the city. Even at this stage, there was still a faint hope that the storm would change direction at the last minute. However, as the afternoon wore on into evening, and high winds and squalls of heavy rain began to hit the city, as people struggled to barricade their homes, it was obvious that Darwin lay in grave danger. But it was not until dawn on Christmas Day that Cyclone Tracy, now a massive Category 5 storm, roared in over the coast and unleashed its full fury, battering the city with 150-mile-an-hour winds and torrential rain. waves lashed at 20 feet high by the wind swamped a 75-mile-long stretch of coast, wrecking boats and driving inland. The onslaught would last a terrifying 12 hours. Up to 80% of Darwin's buildings were destroyed. Streets flooded, every tree uprooted, and power lines brought down. 71 people died, 49 in Darwin itself, and 22 at sea. 15 of them on a private yacht, which capsized and sank while those on board were celebrating Christmas. 2 Australian Navy sailors also lost their lives when their patrol boat was overwhelmed. In addition, nearly 800 people were injured, many of them seriously, and 36,000 people left homeless. Because all the phone lines were down, it would take 10 hours for news of the disaster to reach the outside world. In Canberra, Australia's capital, an emergency evacuation plan immediately swung into action, and within less than a week, around 35,000 people had left Darwin. Many of them would never return. Military and civilian aircraft carrying much-needed supplies began flying into the shattered city. Australia's entire fleet of transport planes was deployed in the operation, not only flying aid in, but also ferrying hundreds of injured and homeless people to safety in the neighbouring state of Queensland. Medical teams also arrived, not only to relieve hard-pressed staff working flat out in Darwin Hospital, one of the few buildings to survive, but also to care for people packed into emergency centres. By now there was a growing feeling that because the city had been so badly damaged, there was nothing for it but to bulldoze what little remained and start all over again. Gough Whitlam, the country's Prime Minister, broke off a visit to Europe and flew straight to Darwin to assess the situation. He was shocked by what he found and promised that the government would do all in its power to help. This resulted in what was called the Darwin Reconstruction Commission, a 5-year plan to rebuild the city. Today, Darwin is a thriving modern city, more than 120,000 people, bearing little resemblance to what it was like earlier. But those who lived through Christmas 1974 will never forget the cyclone which destroyed their city and changed the landscape forever.
Wait, come here!
Because Cyclone Tracy struck in a sparsely populated region, the death toll was comparatively light. This would certainly not be the case in another part of the world 17 years later. April the 29th, 1991, Bangladesh. During the late evening, a tropical cyclone roared in from the Bay of Bengal, striking the southeast coast of Bangladesh with terrifying force. With winds reaching 160 miles an hour, the sea was lashed into a fury as waves up to 20 feet high pounded.
Would you get me some of those crackers?
The cyclone had started forming a week earlier in the Andaman Sea off the west coast of Myanmar, steadily growing as it made its way west into the Bay of Bengal. It then turned north and headed for the mouths of the Ganges River, changing course to the east at the last moment and coming ashore in the Chittagong region southeast of Dhaka, the capital of Bangladesh. Although the outlying islands were swamped, with great loss of life, it was the industrial city of Chittagong and the surrounding area on the mainland which bore the full brunt of the storm's fury. Chittagong, the second largest city in Bangladesh, is the country's most important port and home to more than 2.5 million people. A warning had been issued a few hours earlier that a great storm was on the way. This enabled a number of people to escape from the danger zone altogether or seek refuge in special cyclone shelters. However, However, after persuading themselves that the storm couldn't possibly be as bad as forecast, a great many people chose to ride it out at home. This would cost thousands of them their lives, because the Category 4 storm, which was about to overwhelm part of the coastal area of Bangladesh, would go down as one of the 10 deadliest tropical cyclones on record. It was called Cyclone Mary. Chittagong was pulverized as buildings collapsed, bridges wrecked, ships forced aground or smashed to pieces as they rode along. An important Bangladeshi Navy base nearby was flooded, resulting in major damage. An airbase was also hit, with dozens of military planes either destroyed or damaged almost beyond repair. When a massive hurricane makes landfall, thousands of people can lose their lives. Sweeping remorselessly in from the sea, there is no power on earth which can slow it down. Winds in excess of 150 miles an hour and torrents of rain batter the land. Sea levels rise, and waves up to 30 feet high surge inland, flooding the area for miles around. Buildings are swept away, bridges brought down, and trees torn from their roots. And unless they've escaped in time, people will die, often in great numbers. The hurricanes truly are one of nature's deadliest and most destructive forces. During the last week in August 2008, officials in New Orleans were getting seriously worried. A massive hurricane is heading in from the Gulf of Mexico straight to the state of Louisiana in America's deep south. The hurricane, named Gustav, was due to hit over the next 3 to 5 days. If it maintained its present course, Gustav would eventually end up over the southern states, Louisiana and Mississippi in particular. Almost exactly 3 years earlier, New Orleans had been hit by one of the worst storms on record, Hurricane Katrina, and was still struggling to recover. With the memory of the disaster still fresh in his mind, New Orleans Mayor Ray Nagin knew that if lives were to be saved, he had to act swiftly.
You need to be scared. You need to be concerned. And you need to get your butt moving out of the water. Right now. This is the storm of the century.
The mass evacuation of New Orleans and the Gulf Coast area was put into effect immediately. Soon, thousands of people, under the watchful eye of the Louisiana National Guard, were steadily heading into